Hey, I see you. Do you see me? So, today we're going to talk about something that's been bothering me a little bit myself. In the restaurant industry, in any industry, in life in general, I'm going to state this as a blanket statement. If you aren't a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. Plain and simple. If you aren't a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. So, people speeding and getting in auto accidents because of their reckless speeding. If you're speeding also, you're a part of the problem. Shut up about it. You can't say anything about it if you're a part of the problem. Only if you're a part of the solution. That is, of course, unless you're speaking out that people should be speeding. Then say whatever you want. But if you're speeding and you're saying that, oh, there are too many accidents due to the speeding, well, shut up. How about that? I'm a little opinionated, but shut up. So now we're going to talk about the restaurant industry. So, in my opinion, throw hate, whatever you want, I don't care, because I'm going to stand by this statement. If you aren't a part of the solution, you are a part of the problem. And usually you're a part. You are the problem, not just a part of it. You're the problem. So, you see a cook touch hand-to-mouth food. If you're not familiar with this term, it's what's going to go on the plate and go right to the guest. Not he's grabbing a steak and putting it on the grill and cooking it. Completely different. Fine to touch that with your hand. All the germs are going to be killed anyway by the temperature, the heat. But if he's touching hand-to-mouth food without a glove, it's your duty to at least bring that up to your immediate supervisor. Did you hear what I said? It's your duty for your guest to bring that up to your immediate supervisor at a minimum. At a minimum. If you want to refuse to take it and then speak to a manager, that's another thing altogether as well. If you see someone drop a fork and pick it up and go to give it to oh my God, no. It's your duty to ask them to please get a fresh fork. That goes for everything. Touching the top of a glass, touching inside of a glass, oh my God. Dropping food on the floor and then picking it up. So I'm a little bit of a stickler, and I'm going to admit that right now, because I feel that it's my duty to protect the health and safety of my guests. Here's a little story for you. I got ripped into HR at a place, a retirement community here in town. I was desperate for a job, and I took a job serving at this place. And I asked my manager, because I'd been there for 4 months and never seen a sanitizer bucket. Never had anything to sanitize anything with in the dining room. So, in essence, here's what we were doing. It was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all 3 meals. Same dining room, of course. So, at the very first of the day, let's assume everything was sanitized, all the surfaces. They weren't, but let's assume they were. I begin by taking one towel that we had to use and wiping the first table when someone sat there. Let's say they had MRSA. I wiped that MRSA from that table to the next table, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, all day long. Each one of those tables got wiped with that towel at least 3 times. That's if no one else sat there. So let's say there were 50 residents that dined in there. 50 sets of bacteria were wiped at least twice on every single table. Because after breakfast, everyone had eaten, and that towel had all that bacteria and germs and viruses on it from every single guest, every single resident. So I asked my manager, could I have a sanitizer bucket? Do we have one that I could put out there? Ideally, I'd like 2 and 2 towels, one for each side of the dining room because it's 2 sets of tables. And they weren't forthcoming. And the next day I went in, 8 o'clock rolled around, 9 o'clock, sure as stuff, I got called into HR. The 2 chefs were in there, my 2 immediate supervisors, my immediate supervisor and his supervisor, and a person from HR sat me at a table and proceeded to tell me that I overstepped my bounds by asking for a sanitizer bucket. Did you hear that? I overstepped my bounds. And I said to them point blank, I said, so you're telling me that it's not my duty to ensure that health code is being met. It's not my duty to protect the health and safety of the residents of this establishment. They're not here because they're Olympic athletes and in the prime of their health. They're here because they're winding down. Their immune systems are compromised. They already have issues. Any little thing can set them over the edge. So you're telling me that that's not my duty? Silence. My immediate supervisor. I asked for a sanitizer bucket. I'm a little concerned that I didn't get one. I'm even more concerned that I didn't get one and you saw fit to pull me into HR as if I'm going to get a write-up for this. And what, you're going to terminate me for asking for a sanitizer bucket? You're going to terminate me for trying to meet health code? What are you thinking, man? I looked back at the HR person and said, are you guys going to slide something over to the table here so I can sign it or not? Because if you're not, I'm going to leave and I'm done here. If you are, I want a copy of it before I sign it, and I'll let you know tomorrow if I'm going to sign it or not. I stood up and walked out. Should have left the whole place, but I needed the job. Guess what though? The next morning, actually when I went back out there, in half an hour I had sanitizer buckets, brand new towels, the whole 9 yards, man. Here you are. Here's where you get the sanitizer, Michael. Please carry on. Really? So, if you aren't a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. Don't let stuff slide. It's because of you taking a stand that things are safe. Can you imagine if you imagine the tables are reversed. You go out to eat, and the chicken that you're going to eat was dropped on the floor, and someone saw it and didn't say a word, and you ate it. Do you have issue with the cook and the person that saw it? If you could rewind, would you eat it? If you knew, would you eat it? I wouldn't. I've seen what goes on those floors. No, thank you. All right, let me know what you think. Are you a part of the solution? Please do be. Please be a part of the solution. The health of America is on your shoulders. Okay, that's a little strong, but you get the idea. Go out there. I'm sorry this wasn't a money-making tip. In essence, it was. People get sick in your restaurant, they're not coming back. So it is like a little bit about how to make money, but get out there and make some money. Peace.